Welcome to Times with Tyler. In this video, I'm going to show you how I mainly use the event transform in message only mode in Tines. Alright, so here I am in my Tines story. I'm going to go ahead and drag the event transform action onto the storyboard, and in the default settings, you can see here that it's already set to message only mode and that there is already a pre-built message in the payload. As you can see, this pre-built message is already set up as a JSON object with a default key value pair. And at least in the event transform action, the payload body will contain a builder view and a plain code view. For the purposes of this content, I'm going to remain in the builder view, but if you're interested in learning about the differences between both of them, check out my other posts demonstrating them. Now, once we run this action, we can pull up the events tab and view the event and the output for this event. Now, as you can see, the action output the message defined in the payload. If we change the default values in the payload, you'll be able to see the differences once you rerun the action. To show what we can do with this event transform action in message only mode, I'm going to bring in another event transform action, and I'm going to simulate a payload that would normally come from another Tines action that is pre-existing in this Tines story. I'm also going to keep this action in message only mode, but I am going to change the name of this. I'm also going to change the dummy payload into something that might simulate a real data event. I'll also add more key value pairs. Once I have my new payload set, I'm going to link the two actions together so that they can now reference each other. Now, if I run this action, we can view the event output from it. You can see that this is the content that we just set. But if you click on subsequent action, you can see that nothing was changed. It's still the original message. This is because we are not referencing the new data yet. Luckily in Tines, this is easy to do by looking in the events viewer. So I'm going to click on the preceding action, and you can see that these are the events that we want. So now when you're hovering over the field that you want, you can click the copy icon next to it, and you can go over to your payload, define the keys, and then paste that copied path in. When you click the copy icon in the event viewer, this is copying the reference to that Tines field. And this is what Tines uses when you reference them in any other action throughout the link story. Now, as you can see, we have 3 new key value pairs that we need to reference, so I'll have to create new ones in this event. Once I have all the field values replaced, we can go ahead and rerun the first story, and the new event that comes out should have the replaced values. Obviously with this, there isn't really a valid reason to do this, as you already have references to these values, as you can already copy and paste these field references into later actions. But what the event transform message mode allows you to do is format and standardize the input. Say for example, the data that was coming in wasn't named this way. Now that I've changed the simulation, the key value pairs will be person, topic, and content. We'll also have to change that in the event here. If we leave the key names in this one to this, we can standardize the input. So now that we just reran with the new data, we can check that the name still comes out this way, but the data that was coming in was actually referenced differently. Most of the time, this probably still won't be an issue for you, as most data coming into Tines is going to be standardized in easily recognizable key value pairs for you. But for more complex stories, you can also extract, replace, or use if-else logic to determine what value you want to use. For example, let's say there was HTML code for some reason being sent to your Tines story. If I want to get rid of this, I could use the event transform, reference the correct field with it, and run a strip HTML function on that. Now if we run this code, it should strip that HTML tags out of the content. So as you can see, the data that I was passing in was HTML head and body tags, with the content being a real email body could go here. And running that content to the strip HTML function, we can get that data without the HTML tags. Now that we have replaced the HTML tag content in our message, we can easily reference this new message later on in our Tines story. Alright, now you should have an idea of how to use the Tines event transform in message mode, and now be able to follow along with me in my other Tines projects where I use this action. If you're interested in creating more projects and wanting to learn how to automate more cool things in Tines, be sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other posts.